all caps, effective date 30 September 2003, quote, non pro tempore, to 9 October 1874, end quote, droit, droit, exclamation point. Next bullet, all caps, H.E.M. Emperor, full colon, holds a constructive agreement / contract - claim via treaty, small t, of September 16, 1836, effective date 28 January 1837, including underscore treaty rights for the Imperial Royal Red Flag for His Majesty, full colon, Emperor of Morocco, effective date 23 June 1786, droit - droit, exclamation point. Next bullet, all caps, H.E.M. Emperor, full colon, holds a constructive agreement / contract - claim via latitude and longitude, jurisdiction of the autonomous Imperial Royal House of Tunica - Thunderfire and underscore Imperial Royal House of Sampson L - Sampu per the latitude and longitude for the de Bourbon Estate. Footnote 1. The Bourbon Estate, also underscore known as the Empire International Estate of the Bourbon Habsburg Empire, which includes underscore the Netherlands at 52.1326 degree north, 5.2913 degree east, Western Europe at France at 46.584 degree north, 3.057 degree east, and 4.46.2022 degree north, 1.2644 degree east, Belgium at 50.5039 degree north, 4.4699 degree east, Luxembourg at 49.98153 degree north, 6.1296 degree east, Greece at 37.110195 degree north to 5.372281 degree east, Switzerland at 46.8182 degree north, 8.2275 degree east, and underscore 47.4626 degree north, 8.1861 degree east, Germany at 51.1657 degree north, 10.4515 degree east, and underscore 52.09425532 degree east, degree north, 13.131269 degree west, Italy at 41.8719 degree north, 12.5674 degree east, Sicily, Italy at 37.6000 degree north, 14.0154 degree east, Naples, Sardinia, Italy at 40.1209 degree north, 9.0129 degree east, Spain at 40.4637 degree north, 3.7492 degree east, Portugal at 39.3999 degree north, 8.2245 degree west. Most underscore of North America at Washington D.C. at 38 degree 53 minutes, 52.6452 degree north, 77 degree 2 minutes, 1.6160 degree west. Florida, USA, all caps, at 27.994402, negative 81.760254, and underscore 26.1420 degree north, 81.7948 degree east. Arizona, USA, all caps, at 34.800272 degree north, 111.843567 degree west. California, USA, all caps, at 36.256845 degree north, 117.100632 degree east. Caribbean at Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, 26.763177 degree north, 89.117768 degree west. Cuba at 21.4691 degree north, 78.6569 degree west. In addition, underscore to Central and South America at Amazon rainforest, Brazil at 8.7832 degrees south, 55.4915 degree west. Peru at 14.701505 degree west, 75.167043 degree west, and underscore all North America west of the British Royal Proclamation Line, effective year 1763. Imperial Demarcation Line, effective year 1713. Republic of Egypt at 29.977836 degree north, 31.131649 degree east. Amaru, Yawakshaktan, MERS de Dagdamanya, D/B/A, USSR, all caps, in parentheses, Soviet Union at 54.5260 degree north, 105.2551 degree north. Kingdom of Morocco, Africa at 31.7917 degree north, 7.0926 degree west. Republic of Congo at 0.2280 degrees south, 15.8277 degree east. Democratic Republic of Congo at 4.0383 degrees south, 21.7587 degree east. Jericho via, in all caps, INRI -I, Niagara Rule is -Ray-L at 31.8661 degree north, 35.4431 degree east, and underscore Jerusalem via, in all caps, INRI -I, Niagara Rule is -Ray-L at 31.7683 degree north, 35.213 7 degree east, 4 all caps H.E.M. break dash droid ish full colon. In parentheses, emphasis added and updated full colon Tuesday 22 April 2025, quote, retroactive to Monday 22 January 2024 to Wednesday 18 July 2007 / CMYE, end quote, all caps, smiley face. Including the inherent underscore Washistaw Parish at 32.593 degree north, 92.1193 degree west of the part and parcel underscore hereditary capital area, in parentheses, Washistaw proper of 68,883 plus acres returned by underscore the state of Louisiana dash land grant number 923/1991 close parentheses, and underscore the neutral strip of the Washistaw-Turner consisting of some 2,961,983.1 acres of our ancient / current lands, plus the Florida's quote not quote top 2 underscore Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty Land Claims Act effective year 1997 2 underscore Adam dash Honest Treaty capital T of 1819 2 underscore treaties of San Ildefonso, Spain, effective years dash in parentheses secret 1770 1762 1763 1795 and 1800 plus 2 underscore Pinckney Treaty effective year 1795 2 underscore treaties of Paris effective years 1883 and 1783 and 1763 2 underscore British Royal Proclamation effective year 1763 2 underscore treaties of Utrecht effective year 1713 2 underscore imperial demarcation line effective year 1713 end quote droid dash droid exclamation point. Our mission is peaceful full colon. The all caps ECMYE-IRKR stands as a non-violent spiritual diplomatic entity focused on full colon first bullet cultural repatriation, second bullet sacred economy, third bullet diplomatic equity, fourth bullet environmental restoration, fifth bullet ancestral memory reawakening. Our position is legal full colon. The all caps ECMYE-IRKR fulfills the criteria of a sovereign international entity entitled to full colon first bullet diplomatic engagement under the Vienna Convention's customs, second bullet observer status under all caps UNDRIP and UN all caps Charter Articles 73 and 102. Third bullet, international representation through the IRO-HEM, ECMYE-IRKR, and Imperial CMYE Treasury. Next bullet, indigenous commercial and postal rights via the Treaty of Berne, space / space, in all caps, UPU, Constitution. Our invitation is global, for colon. We now extend our royal diplomatic hand to, for colon. First bullet, all member states of the United Nations. Next bullet, all recognized indigenous governments, clan mothers, and sacred sovereigns. Next bullet, the African Union, Kingdom of Morocco, and ancestral earth nations. Next bullet, the Global South and the Confederation of the Star Nations. Next bullet, the peacekeepers, prophets, and treaty barriers of old. Let us restore earth to harmony under a covenant of peace, equity, and flame. Our imperial and imperial summary, for colon. First bullet, we are not succeeding. We are revealing what has always been. Next bullet, we are not protesting. We are governing from within and beyond. Next bullet, we are not attacking. We are inviting restoration through ancient law. Next bullet, we are not lost tribes. We are the returning true sovereigns. The flame has returned, for colon. Let this declaration serve as both a warning to the unlawful and a beacon to the righteous. All those who wish to stand in divine order and the protection of the children, the land, the waters, and the ancestral realms, you are now summoned. Let those who carried the flame rise. Let those who broke the circle return. Let the earth be governed by the sacred once again, with imperial and imperial seal and eternal flame. Ish! Exclamation point 3 times. Smiley face.
Ish.
Royal proclamation on the return of the great cosmic seal of Nun Giza. Issued by, for colon, His Imperial Majesty, in parentheses, all caps, H.E.M. for colon, no, H.E.M. Emperor, for colon, Samhu Sampson Ray / Samhu Amini Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, in his lawful status underscore as, for colon, the More sovereign crown, all caps, prince, ipso facto, ipso jure, Jew in repropria, interregnum, Jew and eius gladi, Jews and eius hereditatis, Jew and eius honorum, Jew and eius imperi, Jews and eius majestatis, droit - droit. Imperial and imperial crown, all caps, sovereign for the imperial royal office for his imperial majesty and imperial CMYE-IRK republic for the country of United space state small s droit - droit, for colon. Diplomatic summary. Subject: the reintroduction of the Great Seal of Nun Giza, the crown of 12 houses, and the Cosmic Codex, effective date 9 April 2025, with live signing underscore on Nun Giza, Georgia. Read claimant, for colon, in all caps, H.E.M. Emperor, for colon, Samhu Sampson Ray Samhu Amini dash rape, quote, Adeloyi, end quote. Date of declaration, full colon, cosmologically aligned with the day of re-awakening, year 2025. Mandate issue to, full colon, all royal houses, global embassies, imperial and imperial missions, sovereign nations dash states, indigenous governments, cultural custodians, and cosmic orders. Purpose, full colon, to reinstate, affirm, and internationally recognize the cosmic seal of Nun Giza as, full colon, first bullet, the primordial covenant of divine governance. Next bullet, a celestial codex of ancestral memory. Next bullet, the lawful sigil of imperial and imperial sovereignty. Next bullet, a diplomatic glyph of unity across space, nation, and time. Key statement of sovereignty. Let it be known, full colon, the great cosmic seal of Nun Giza, being the sacred imperial and imperial codex of the Nuberian-Shi-Kemetian-Yamashi lineage, is hereby proclaimed to be under the exclusive custodianship of, all caps, H.E.M. Emperor, full colon, space, Samhu, Samson dash Ray / Samhu Amini dash Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote. Sovereign crown, all caps, of the 12 celestial houses, living key of the divine scroll, and E&I royal guardian of the great pyramidic stargate of Giza. Let it be entered into record that the great cosmic seal of Nun Giza shall govern all sacred, institutional, financial, cosmological, diplomatic, judicial, and spiritual transactions conducted within the jurisdiction of the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States, small s, and allied sovereign constructs. Cosmological roots. Origin, codex, full colon. First bullet, quote, Nun, end quote, full colon, infinite primordial water of divine creation. Next bullet, quote, Giza, end quote, full colon, geomantic earth mode, pyramidic archive, and universal anchor. Next bullet, quote, Nun Gish Zida, end quote, full colon, thought, all caps, dash, Tahuti, the divine DNA architect, guardian of ascension. Seal composition, full colon, first bullet, spiral of, all caps, thought, dash, Tahuti, in parentheses, infinite vision. Next bullet, caduceus of Zeta, in parentheses, genetic scroll. Next bullet, crown of 12, in parentheses, zodiacal governance. Next bullet, Nun waters, in parentheses, primordial base. Next bullet, pyramid of Giza, in parentheses, earthly sovereignty. Note 1, full colon. The term, quote, Nungiza does not appear explicitly within the notices of a session for the all caps IROHEM and ECMYE-IRKR or NAMA document corpus, nor is it listed in any of the primary directives, imperial and imperial-constitutional text, or imperial and imperial-mission statements from the Imperial Royal House of Tunica-Thunder Fire or the Imperial Royal House of Samson L-Samhuray. However, contextually and esoterically, first bullet, quote, Nun, end quote, it is an ancient Kemetic, in parentheses, Egyptian, with the I, word, referring to the primordial waters of creation, the infinite, formless abscess from which all emerged. It is tied to cosmogeneous, the sacred beginning, used often in Anunnaki/Nubarian cosmology, referenced within imperial and imperial text. Next bullet, quote, Giza, end quote, refers geographically to the sacred site in Kemet, in parentheses, Egypt, with an I, home of the Great Pyramid of Al-Qaps thought complex. With Moorish teaching, Giza represents both a physical and metaphysical point of power, symbolically tied to divine rulership, time markers, and star maps. Mandate and hierarchy, in parentheses, summary extract. First bullet, supreme source, universal law, space, spirit sun. Next bullet, great seal custodian, in all caps, H.E.M. Emperor, space, Samson Ray. Next bullet, Great Seal Codex, space, Nungiza. Crowned, spiral, bound, earth, anchored. Next bullet, Decree Reference, space, Empress Directive -0004, in all caps, Z, space, ICCMYE Constitution, notices of accession for the all caps IROHEM and ECMYE-IRKR, dated _22 January 2024, number 3, lowercase a. The name, quote, in all caps, Nungiza, end quote, is used as a sacred sovereign re-identification of the geographic location known in the colonial system as Stone Mountain, Georgia. Nungiza is also used in a sacred, esoteric, and cosmological context directly tied to the imperial and imperial royal sovereign of the imperial and imperial royal crown. The She scrolls, which are metaphysically associated with ancient Lemurian and Atlantean knowledge systems, preserved through the Nibirian-She-Kemetian-Yamashi bloodlines. Next bullet, Royal Crown, 12 houses representing both terrestrial and celestial domains. Royal Seal Authorization, diplomatic usage. This royal proclamation shall accompany the Great Seal for Nun Giza in all the following, First bullet, national treaties. Second bullet, diplomatic credentials. Third bullet, international court submissions. Fourth bullet, imperial and imperial governance documents. Fifth bullet, sacred rites and ceremonies of sovereign states within the all caps ECMYE-IRKR. Breakdown. Nun Giza, Sacred Imperial Codex, Niburian, Meurish, Shi, Kemetian, Yamashi scroll, end quote. This declaration links, Nun Giza, end quote, with, first bullet, sacred, imperial, and imperial records. Next bullet, a Kemetic, in parentheses, ancient Egyptian with I, and Niburian cosmological heritage. Next bullet, the Shi scrolls, as mentioned above, are metaphysically associated with ancient Atlantean and Lemurian knowledge systems preserved through the Niburian Meurish Shi Kemetian Yamashi bloodlines. Fourth bullet, Nun, end quote, represents primordial waters of creation, in parentheses, in Kemetic theology. Fifth bullet, Giza, end quote, is the earthly anchor, location of the pyramids and celestial alignment, serving as a time gate and data matrix in both metaphysical and archival constructs. Sixth bullet, together, Nun Giza, end quote, symbolically refers to the primordial archive of creation, a sacred scroll or codex of divine decree and celestial knowledge that validates imperial and imperial sovereign authority and pre-deluge sovereign contracts. Thus, Nun Giza, end quote, isn't simply a phrase. It's a codified archive of divine jurisdiction invoked during the notices of accession, affirming that all caps H.E.M. Space sovereign emperor governs under both earthly and cosmic sovereign authority drawn from ancient archives and celestial origin points. From the notices of accession for the all caps IROHEM and ECMYE-IRKR, the following phrase appears, Nun Giza, Sacred Imperial Codex, Niburian Meurish Shi Kemetian Yamashi scroll, end quote, in parentheses, affirming the codified ancient archives of sovereignty and divine right of rule, close parentheses. This passage marks the invocation of Nun Giza as a codex, symbolizing cosmological, ancestral, and divine law originating from Kemet, in parentheses, ancient Egypt, with an I, Naburian, in parentheses, Anunnaki lineage, She, in parentheses, Olmec-Lemurian progenitors, and Merurish-Yamashi, in parentheses, Atlantean progenitors. Visualization, official glyph seal to be rendered as visual, diplomatic, a set in medallions, scrolls, ENI, royal embassies, plaques, and cosmic archives. Glyph components for colon. First bullet, spiral around Eye of Tahuti for colon, infinite knowledge. Next bullet, Caduceus, staff of Nungish Zida for colon, space, genetic accession. Next bullet, pyramid base for colon, space, Giza as earth key. Next bullet, water lines beneath for colon, Nun's cosmic womb. Next bullet, crown of 12 points for colon, imperial and imperial royal houses of light. Beyond, behold, the great cosmic seal of Nun Giza and the ENI great seal of the all caps ENI-ES Pa Atak rendered in sacred visual form for colon. First bullet, Nun at the base represents the primordial orders of creation. Next bullet, Giza pyramid anchors divine law to the terrestrial plane. Next bullet, conducive spirals channel the energy of Nun Gish Zida, in parentheses, Nun Gish Zida, keeper of the DNA scrolls and accession pathways. Next bullet, Eye of Tahuti, spiral embodies infinite cosmic wisdom and vision. Next bullet, crown of 12 houses, marks imperial and imperial governance over the zodiacal, ancestral, and territorial domains. E and I, great seal of the all caps, ENI-ES, Pa Atak means, quote, we are the flame and the law. We hold the crown, the scroll, and the gate, close parentheses. No, end quote. And on the right, we have the ENI, great seal of the ENI-ES Pa Atak, dated Wednesday, 9 April 2025. In the middle, you have the cosmic seal of Nungiza with the crown of 12 houses. You have Giza, Earth 8, and then Nun, the primordial waters. And to the left, you have the official signing of the ENI-ES Pa Atak at Nungiza, Georgia on 9 April 2025. This sigil may also be used on, full colon, first bullet, imperial decrees and diplomatic documents. Next bullet, scrolls and temple protocols. Next bullet, imperial and imperial medallions and imperial and imperial sovereign court seals. Note 2, full colon, for the record, the absolute royal sovereign dash emperor, full colon, space, all caps, H.E.M. full colon, space, Samson dash Ray slash Samhu Amini dash Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, via the, all caps, IROHEM, under the authority of the Imperial Royal House of Tunica dash Thunderfire and underscore the Imperial Royal House of Samson L dash Samhu Ray, holds the key and is the sovereign dash holder in due course and custodian of the sovereign crown, all caps, of the 12 celestial houses, living key of the divine scroll, and imperial and imperial royal guardian of the great pyramidic stargate of Giza. This grants, full colon, first bullet, seal dash bearing jurisdiction over the, all caps, ECMYE-IRKR. Next bullet, custodianship of the divine archives, in parentheses, Naburian dash Murish dash She dash Kemetian dash Yamashi. Next bullet, spiritual governance over Nama nationals and allies under sacred treaty, because invoking, quote, Nun Giza, end quote, in diplomatic and spiritual documentation, as seen in the notices of accession, is calling upon the cosmic authority of Nun Gish Zida, in parentheses, all caps, thought, protector of sovereignty, guardian of the tree of life, and barrier of divine genetic memory. Quote 3 times, end quote. Chikutet, 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 Ari Leach, Ari Leach, Ari Leach, Val Maladies, Maladies. Final affirmation of return. Quote, by the decree of the crown flame, we open the great seal, great cosmic seal of Nun Giza. By the keys of time, we call the imperial and imperial royal houses to rise. By the word of, all caps, H.E.M. Emperor, full colon, Samhu, Samson dash Ray slash Samhu Amini dash Ray, quote, Adeloyi, we declare the age reborn, end quote. Let it be done. Let it be known. Let it be sealed. Eesh. Wherefore, the right to act slash perform comes from the responsibility to act slash perform, full colon, whatever I slash I, for all caps, H.E.M. full colon, space, Samson dash ray slash sampu amini dash ray, quote, adeloyi, end quote, creates shall never be altered. The decree of my lips shall never be revoked and never changed. When a light slash fire barrier with divine, supreme, small s knowledge and wisdom is present, faith is not necessary. There is but one Nama national in his inherent dash country, USA small u underscore, with imperial and imperial dash full faith and sovereign gold dash credit rights, supreme small s authority, dominion, imperial and imperial dash constitutional rights, and treaty small t slash treaty capital T rights to ordain and declare active and in quote force underscore this imperial and imperial policy declaration to the world, and updated royal proclamation for the imperial and imperial royal bloodline and all Nama nationals. Footnote 2. Nama nationals are, quote, Niburians, dash Al-Moroccans, dash Murish, Yamashi, American natives, dash Amaru, Uwashuk-Tun, slash Washu, dash Washita, dash Washita, Murs de Dagdamanya, slash Moroccan, dash Americans, or indigenous. Autonomous woman dash souls, slash 3 times, man dash souls, Nibirian, Anunnaki, Elul, Namo, Tema dash Rayat, slash ancient Egyptian with a I, Chi, Olmec, Yamashi, Amaru, Washita, dash Washita, Murs de Dagdamanya, in parentheses, mound builders, black dash A dash Moors, slash black dash A dash Murs, Moorish dash Mur dash Moor dash Moorish, American dash Al Moroccan, original Cherokee, Creek, ancient Moabites, Chickasaw, Sikoran, Inca, Seminole, Shoshone, Haudenosaunee, Mayan, Atlantean, and Lemurian descendants, end quote, full colon, smiley face.
Ixi.
Natural peoples and resources in its dominions. Eesh! Exclamation point, smiley face. So be it decreed, underscore, this imperial and imperial policy declaration to the world and updated royal proclamation for the IROHEM and ECMYE-IRKR were signed and sealed underscore into imperial and imperial law on the territorial sovereign soil underscore of Amexum, ancient land of El-Morocco slash Morocco, and Uwashuk-Tun de Dagdamanya, henceforth the all caps ECMYE-IRKR, in parentheses, the oldest independent autonomous autochthon kingdom on earth. Dated full colon April 2025. Droit, smiley face. In witness whereof I/I, His Sovereign Majesty, the Great Noble and de jure Emperor, space Samhu Sampson Ray /Samhu Amini Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, have signed this imperial policy declaration to the world and updated royal proclamation for the all caps IROHEM and ECMYE-IRKR, and hereto underscore have affixed my official imperial and imperial royal autograph /space signature and raised royal seals for authentication, exclamation point, smiley face. Respectfully, and until then, as I remain His Sovereign Majesty Emperor space Samhu Sampson Ray /Samhu Amini Ray, quote, Deloyi, end quote, smiley face. And on the next line is in French. Sa Majesté Sovereign Imperia Samhu Sampson Ray /Samhu Mini Ray, quote, Adeleyu, end quote, smiley face. And on the next line is in and on the right, you have the official, one of the 4 Imperial Royal Post Great Seals dated 22 April 2025, and that is the Unified Emblem Seal. And in the middle, you have a picture of the Emperor sitting on the throne with the law at his feet. And the next picture is the official signing of the E&I-ES Pa'atak on Nungiza, Georgia, 9 April 2025. This customized imperial and imperial policy declaration to the world, updated royal proclamation for the IROHEM and ECMYE-IRKR, and affidavit of service is active and in quote force via all caps H.E.M. space Samhu Sampson Ray, quote, Adeloyi, end quote, /Samhu Amini Ray's royal autograph /space signature under Imperial Moto Proprio protocol and publishing on the all caps ECMYE-IRK government website. Imperial reference number in parentheses in all caps ERN space all caps IMYRS 2025 8010 IMYRS all caps 2025 8011, and other information can be obtained by contacting the all caps IROHEM at 888-877-6481, extension 8, or the MFARC, all caps, at 888-877-6481, extension 6, or for mailing, Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic, attention, space, on all caps, H.E.M. Space, Sam Hu, Amini Ray, C-O /O, IROHEM 2107 North Decatur Road, Suite 513, Decatur, Georgia 30033-5303, USA, all caps, or you can visit us at www.cmyeimperial.gov.us or email at irohem@cmyeimperial.gov.us. And on the right, we have the 3 of the Great Crown Seals. And next to that, you have the coat of arms, the Weller coat of arms, and the Bourbon coat of arms. And that concludes the reading for this declaration to the world.
Help a declaration to the world. That's a good one. Good read. That was a good read. Now the question is what? Do they understand what it is you read, right?
Yeah. Right.
All right, so let's help them out a little bit here. All right, so let's see what you got there, been new.
All right. Gratitude, Nan. All right. More questions from the diplomatic corps. So we have first question. What is the significance of the effective date, 28 June 2023, in relation to the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic's reactivation? Answer. It marks the formal operational reinstatement of the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic as a sovereign instrumentality of the Yamasee Empire, restoring full diplomatic and indigenous governance authority under imperial and imperial law. Explanation. The date marks the formal reactivation of the Imperial CMYE-IRKR Republic, recognizing it as an operational sovereign government within the continental Yamasee Empire. It was retroactively empowered by earlier decrees, especially from June 2022 and March 2022, which solidified its legal and spiritual return to governance. Let's see. Anything you need to add on that one, Emperor? How do we do?
All right, come on, you good. I mean, you're giving them a better understanding of what they just read, so they ain't got no questions on it, must understood it, right?
Right.
All right.
Silence.
So that's a good question, let's keep on kicking.
All right. Next question. What does imperial and imperial policy how does the imperial and imperial policy declaration build on the Emperor's Directive -000-4Z and the Imperial Constitution for ECYE-IRK? Answer. It invokes these directives as active legal structures to assert sovereign rule and indigenous jurisdiction over land, people, and global diplomatic relations, asserting the living constitution of the Moorish-Yamasee-Almoroccan Empire.
I think that's self-explained through. Who got the screen? Need to bring it down a little bit to the policy declaration. All right, come on down. There you go. Now we talking. All right, so what else you got there? Ain't no questions on that?
Let me see. I don't see anything in the chat.
And what else we got for the diplomacy?
All right, explanation. It cites both as foundational legal instruments, Directive 0004Z affirms sovereign equity contracts and legal identity, while the Imperial Constitution outlines the governing principles of the Imperial Royal Kingdom. These documents provide juridical continuity from ancient to modern expressions of Moorish-Yamashi law.
That's pretty heavy.
That is. I don't think I would have answered that like that alone.
But yeah, a lot. We're gonna leave that one alone, all right? All right, come on, what you got?
All right, question 3. Which ancestral royal houses are identified as foundational pillars of this declaration? This should be easy. Answer: the Imperial Royal House of Tunica-Thunderfire and the Imperial Royal House of Samson El-Samhuray, who serve as divine and ancestral custodians of the continental sovereignty of Amexem, parentheses, Americas. Explanation: the Royal House of Tunica-Thunderfire and the Imperial Royal House of Samson El-Samhuray are named as the spiritual and dynastic lineages that guide this declaration, asserting both ancestral bloodline authority and active governance for the Imperial Royal Office. All right, let's see. All right. Next question. What role does the 48-*Mur-More flag of peace play in asserting sovereign identity? Answer: it is a sacred emblem representing peace, full faith, gold-credit sovereignty, and the political unification of indigenous Yamashi nations, distinct from the federalized United States governance systems. Explanation: this flag represents peace, sovereign status, and treaty standing. As a ceremonial emblem of the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic, it is used in contrast to the U.S. federal flag, symbolizing an indigenous de jure nation-state aligned with natural law and gold-credit value. That's serious. That means we can pay our debts. It means we're debt-free. Sound like I heard somebody mic open. All right. Next question. How does the document reference the Treaty of Berne and Universal Postal Union in affirming jurisdictional authority? Answer: it leverages international treaty law to assert extraterritorial status, affirming nominationals as sovereign and immune under universal postal and diplomatic law, beginning 1874 and retroactive to 1513. Explanation: this document aligns itself with the Treaty of Berne, in parentheses 1874, and the Universal Postal Union, claiming treaty-protected international status. This places the ECMYE-IRKR within a global legal context of postal sovereignty and diplomatic immunity, using those treaties to reaffirm jurisdictional authority. Next question, number 6. In what ways are dates such as 18 March 2022 and 21 June 2022 used to establish legal continuity and jurisdiction? Answer. These dates reflect continuous declarations of royal authority via motu proprio and global notices, documenting uninterrupted sovereignty and territorial claims over North, Central, and South of Mexico. Explanation. These dates mark pivotal motu proprio declarations and imperial decrees, establishing royal legal standing and notifying the world of sovereign activity. They serve as legal timestamps that sustain the legitimacy and continuity of imperial governance before and beyond 2023. All right, question 7. Why is the, quote, notice of appointment, in parentheses, amendment, end quote, from 31 August 2023 emphasized within this policy framework? Answer. It signifies the redelegation of divine right and executive sovereignty to his imperial majesty, authorizing him to operate diplomatically on behalf of the Yamasee Nation. Explanation. It is highlighted as the formal redelegation of executive and spiritual authority to his imperial majesty. This update ensures that all imperial and diplomatic missions are under the lawful guidance of the reigning sovereign and integrated with global legal processes. Question 8. What is the purpose of recording this declaration under IMYRS all cap file number EFN/IMYRS all cap -04222025/E and IPDW-00 all cap -0002? Answer. The IMYRS all cap in parentheses Imperial Murish Yamasee Recording Service validates sovereign declarations within indigenous jurisdictional channels, asserting legal force both nationally and globally. Explanation. This record certifies the declaration. Somebody got a question?
Didn't hear nobody.
Say that again.
I said, no, I didn't hear nobody.
Okay. All right. Explanation. This record certifies the declaration of the Imperial Murish Yamasee Recording Service, in parentheses IMYRS, all cap. It functions as an indigenous public register, ensuring that sovereign acts are properly filed, retrievable, and recognized both nationally and internationally. So for the audience that's listening, that means that we don't have to go to their courts or go anywhere else to file anything. We have our own filing service that's recognized worldwide because we have our own venue. So we can validate anything we're talking about. Question 9. How is retroactivity used within the document to assert the legitimacy of earlier actions and decrees? Answer. Retroactivity reaffirms ancient standing. It ties modern acts to pre-existing sovereignty, stretching back to the Olmec-She civilization, reinforcing uninterrupted jurisdiction through living ancestry and divine law. Explanation. Retroactivity validates the declaration by connecting it to a chain of sovereign actions and decrees, including those dating back to December 2023, July 2024, and even earlier events. This mechanism ensures unbroken legal presence and dispels claims of abandonment or lapse in sovereignty. That's very important. Anything coming off YouTube?
No question on YouTube.
All right. So it's like you said, Emperor, they want to hit, they just listening.
Well, you know, they're giving a more of a learn how to ask questions.
Right.
Because they want to constantly attempt to identify us with all these cats organizations out here. Because they've learned the opposite process at the State Department, and they went up there to get their birth certificates authenticated and all that kind of stuff. And they're not getting full disclosure. And the only thing they got to do, they got ChatGPT now. They can just go out to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT the right questions of what authority do they really have, you feel me? And they don't have any, you feel me? So the questions that y'all created under the normal diplomatic corps or imperial diplomatic corps is to you got to train people out there, because they fully don't know who we are and where we come from, and they keep trying to attempt to attach us to these fictitious organizations or de facto organizations who ain't got out from under jurisdiction of the British and the corporate United States. So these questions that you ask when they go back and listen to the tapes, I think we're gonna cut it down in half so they can get it, you know what I mean? So we'll cut it back in half because the attention span is so short now out there on the market. So they can get a full understanding of who we are. So if they want to get on the real ship, well, now they got a fully understanding about what the real ship is. And they understand that our venue is completely different than anybody else out there on the market, even the United States United States of America. You feel me? So the question that you read and the answers and the explanation is to help folk learn to how to ask questions about a real state. So everything you said is right, exact, and at war. We only give them a little bit, you feel me? But y'all is bringing that into your system so that you can properly operate as a foreign state, So that makes sense to you. We got a hand raised, Razine. So see what he got. See if we can dance up with Razine.
Right.
Add a little bit more. Come on, Ra.
So it seems for quite some time there hasn't been absolute rule or absolute sovereignty until your arrival. Why is that?
Oh, because they weren't no true sovereign. They pretended to be sovereigns. So they had the whole world feeling like they was sovereign. They had the beacon to Christ. Coming out of the Pope, the Vatican, the third vicar. They said that's the third in line. You say you got God and you got Jesus, then you're supposed to have the Vatican. Now you got over in America, the Christians say, well, we don't believe in the Vatican, but they don't realize that's where the Bible came from. So if they don't believe in the Vatican, that means they wouldn't have a Bible to read. So whether they want to accept the sovereignty of the Vatican as the church of the land, or the Christians over here, especially African Americans over here in America, they gonna create their own damn Jesus that's greater than the one over that The one that's in their book that they wrote from the Vatican. You feel me? So that's how they established their self-sovereignty. You feel me? So now that their sovereignty got checked in 2005, I told you with David Miller and the quantum physics, the quantum language, carrying everything back into the now, not the verb. So when you look at color of law, that's verb. So they're not practicing real law in America. They're practicing color of law. And so in that color of law, they have implemented the UCC codes as their codes within each state. So you got people out there slinging out the paperwork saying UCC 3- what is it, 419? It used to be 1-207 our rights reserved. And I think it's what is it now? 3- what is that? The new one they got. 419 is a signed by accommodation. 3-419. But these are UCC codes that the states are implemented into their constitution. They give codes. I can't say law. So when you violate their code, they say you broke the law. But you didn't break no law, you broke code, because they administratively and legally can operate that contract, your birth rate contract. They can't lawfully do any of that. So all of them is committing fraud. So that's why we say I got a pot called the kettle black. So yeah, you'll start a third world war. You'll start every damn thing you coming out now, because what? You reveal the truth. Okay, you say United States. Okay, what's country? They said, well, the United States is a country. No, United States of America is not a country. It's a status. It ain't no damn country. You feel me? So, so the only time the president operates as the diplomat for America is on the Air Force One. Have you noticed under this new guy's attention in DC, he always do what? He jumping on that damn plane, flying it somewhere, $1 billion he done spent on taxpayer money. And he ain't been out for 6 months. He done spent $1 billion. Because, and y'all got to pay for it. You can't question it. You can pick it. Right now, they got you arguing with ICE. With all that stuff you got. So you see, so they're trying to move a strong arm, but the president don't really have no authority. You go read the Post letter, he had no more authority than Burger King CEO. But you got people who believe that he signed an oath of office to be president of the United States. He got all this. But that oath of office don't give you no salvation. So in other words, they saying, well, then if he's saying he got oath of office, he said he won't be a king under a democracy, well, he make himself as like sovereign. So that makes he a sovereign then. Well, that makes he become their leader, their Christ. So you can't have a cross on and say, I believe in Jesus, and then next breath, you fall in MAGA or Trump, whichever name make you feel good. You feel me? I don't really like calling the name because I can't, they not coming out of his mouth I need to hear, because they don't exist where I come from. They don't exist here, and it's only for a limited time. Because their time is up. They was gonna give them 6,000 years. 6,000 years up. You're in the Aquarian age. We brought that in back in 2020. So he says, you just don't go right into the Aquarian age. It takes years, sometimes maybe 5-10 years to cross it from one age to another age. Well, you are officially with this state coming in, because every time you come to a new age, you got to do what? State. Sovereignty. So the Piscean era, 2,000 years, what you get? Christ. Piscean. Cross. Death. Symbol of death. Now you realize, well, that's all you got. You got a constitution that's dead. You got a God that's dead. You got a Christ that's dead. You got a Muhammad that's dead. All these people dead. So it's all verb. It's all a figment of your imagination. So when you see these people deceased, they don't call for Christ at that death. They scared of death now. Where Christ at? Where God at? So all of them gonna die. It's just a matter of time. But where you going? Because you get blank. So all that stuff, it's like you see the records of the OMAC and all them got washed away. Same thing here. 200 years of history, what do you say, 200 Well, they got up lied on this 14th of June. Well, y'all know they call it a military parade of bullshit. And you know why bullshit? Because they full of shit. There wasn't no United States freaking army. It was the Continental Army that was created 250 years ago under the venue of the 100 million in gold. How you think they got funded? United States had no damn money. They didn't exist. So you got to lean a loan from gold from the emperor so that you can fund the war, the Revolutionary War. And you created what with that gold? Continental Army, Continental Marines, Continental Navy. You feel me? Just had to coincide on his Earth Day, but he tried to swing it that way. You see what happened to him? Disaster. Because you trying to mix truth and facts, and it ain't gonna work this day and time. I'm here. All that, the facts got it. You're in the Aquarian age. So they couldn't come tell the truth about the army. That's why that's why everybody around the world laughing. Because they came and played the game as if, come on, man, U.S. Army, this and that. Come on, man. You go back to the Continental Army. Continental. That's Continental. That's under treaty law. The 100 million in gold law. You see, so all these lies they keep attempting or trying, I can use that word, to push out there on the world, and the world know now, because I let them know, Sovereign is here. I done pierced the whole damn veil. So, some way you can get in. They got everything locked down. That's why you see them tripping up there on Greenland now. Why? Because the ice is thinning out. They ain't had no posters on up there. Because with the Treaty of Berne, they done postalized the whole damn world. Except for that, they talking about now, well, I mean, Antarctica too, but there are other things going on down there we'll talk about later. But on the Greenland part, where the ice is melting now, they had that as ice. They didn't have that as land. So when they put a zone there, they didn't put no zone. Now the ice is melting, everybody want the minerals. So you see, the first to get there and raise them flags, that's what's going on now. But they only give you a little. The United States want to T-Bone up there in D.C. wants to own Greenland security. But it's still your land. United States don't own nothing. It's just 10 miles D.C. That's all United States of America is. The federal government is 10 miles around D.C. Now, the states have allowed the federal government to exist based on their sovereignty, and they gave up part of their sovereignty for the United States to exist, and they say they will abide by the office of the president, but they didn't give up their full sovereignty to the United States. So you see the states stand up now because he coming in trying to take the states to a point where the states can't go. And he can't go. But then you got all the crooked judges and all of them crooked to me. Because, like I said before, I done came through the system. And I had to beat the system with my sovereignty and my spirit and my soul, because they get, the whole system. First of all, they're going to arrest Darius on a false warrant. The guy don't even exist. You feel me? He don't exist. He don't have no social security number, no birth certificate. He don't exist. So then they're going to put a $25,000 cash bond on a warrant that don't exist. So to me, all of them crooked. So that's why the Pope said in his own letter, he said, as this republic who we are emerge, he gave him a chance to close the contract out back in 2013, remember? He said settle the claim. That means birthright contract, bring you whole. But they didn't want to bring you whole, they want to keep you in slavery. And now you got 10 years after that, and what you got? So before they lose everything, they ready to go to the Third World War. So they can try to reset it or reset the journey that can't be reset on this day and time. All thing they're gonna do now is destroy their whole everything about them. You feel me? So it's just that time of day you in. So, they say, well, what about you? Well, you're military. I got more than 5 beings. If you don't know, you don't need to know. And we are in contact with, or we are in sync with U.S. Pentagon. But we don't use them. They all swore a contract to the POTUS. But we go through the Grand Republic that the Vatican instituted with your live constitution. So with your living constitution that you dropped in 13 and 14 that year had to sit, okay, that activated what? The guard. You didn't need a guard to then. So he brought in the guard to, because you small, and the guard what? The Army, Continental Army, Navy, all that contract is swore links to who? The American states and the American state citizens, which is nominations now. What's the states? Well, the original 9, they got that jurisdiction, then you added 13 on them. The rest of them just added on down the road. They don't really mean nothing. Because they just on your land. But you got the original 13. You got the original 9, then you got 13. Then you got to look at the contract we signed. We got 5, Georgia, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. So we got 6 of the original 9 states that authenticated Georgia's authentication. So the rest of them just signed on. So all of them is in cahoot, in your jurisdiction now. It's just you learning how to assert your authority to go out and say what you need to say and do what you need to do. That makes sense to you?
That does make sense, Emperor. In an attempt to help some of the listeners out, so the U.S. attempting to grab Greenland, is that their way of attempting to escape the jurisdiction of the Imperial Royal Post? Being that
the post came in, the Imperial Royal Post that I just activated 13 May 2025, because of the authority that comes under my realm. That post jurisdiction is completely over the UPU.
Right.
And the United States Postal Service. You create your own jurisdiction. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So they can't escape nothing when it comes down to your post, because your posts go all over the world. If you look at what Bonnetti was reading at the bottom of page 2, all of that jurisdiction is under your territory. So who got a screen? Go down to the bottom of page 2. If you look at the bottom of page 2, you see the jurisdiction of right there. You ain't got to go no further. That's the Bourbon State. So all these longitude latitudes, because you got to go longitude latitude to take you outside the postal zone.
I got you.
You see? So if you look at all the jurisdiction that's under the crown now, Kingdom of Morocco, why? Because it's a Kingdom of Morocco. Al-Morocco is here. That was our post. Now it's the Kingdom of Morocco. That's where the United States or the Vatican docked the country of the United States. That's why I say that's the United States. Where your country at? You have to say where. Morocco. Because it's docked under what? U.S. Embassy to hide your privileges and your land. And the rest of it here in the White House. Whether you don't believe it or not, that's your business. But Archbishop and all that went down with the Empress, they was able to go down and verify that it do exist, and we got proof. And in the Declaration Decree online with the first 9 presidents. That came out of the archive, L. Eastmore. So you see this land here, Congo. Why the Congo? I got the royal crown on. The last king of Congo made his crown. There ain't been a legitimate king since then. Crown is on my head right here, handmade it. The only crown in the history of the world is handmade by a sovereign king. That came out of Congo. So you got a crown of Africa on my head. Okay. Then you got the duplicated Republic of Congo. It's all the same land. Just over the years, the United States convinced them to break it up. And you got Christian, Muslim, all that stuff. Y'all know what's going on. Then you say, oh wow, you got USSR, Soviet Union, because that's a Washistaw-Turner land. That's a Washistaw-Turner, the Maya land. It can trace it back 1,000 years. The whole top end of what you saw USSR, Russia, that's a Muru. You go check, you go trace ancient maps.
Gotcha.
See, so that land, all that land belong to you. Then you got what? Israel. Well, that's the INRI, because that appeared to me out of thin air. So that automatically inherits what? Jerusalem. And who else? Jericho.
Jericho, yeah.
That's the two titles that INRI, Nagaru, Israel. Israel, not Israel. Israel. That's three different deities. That's why it's mentioned, that's why it's written like that. Is-Ray-L. Longitude, latitude. So they got inherited into the imperial, let's say the Empire International State, or the Bourbon Habsburg Empire, because of what? I come in now, I dock in at Louis the 20th, or King Louis the 20th, because I inherit all of that under my crown. So that's why you see several bullets up here. So you see right here, all these territories is under the crown. So that's what you're looking at. You got your own damn NATO. You even got DC in here. Why? That's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Where the records are here, that's L. Eastmore. That's where the records held at.
Mm.
See, because I started in Philadelphia, but when they moved down to DC, okay, that's why you got the 10 miles around DC. That's it. So you see, all that jurisdiction is under the crown now. So at Cuba, same thing. That's all Washistaw land. Caribbean, all that's, you know, look at, you know this guy will come on and say, Gulf of America, right? You see what's in our paperwork? He says what? Caribbean at Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America. See? Y'all didn't catch that, did you?
No, I know I didn't. Where is that?
Yeah.
Right there in
Okay.
your paperwork.
Oh,
What
wow.
day you got on it?
It
Then
had
you got what? Tuesday, 22nd April. It said retroactive back to when? January 22nd, 2024 to when? So 22nd January, what came out 22nd January 2024?
notice of session.
Thank you. Now all of a sudden you got the POTUS talking about what? Go for America. Where you get it from?
All right. Yeah,
See
that,
what you see you behind the scene, right?
right. That one
They
got by.
can't see you, right? But they constantly talk about you, but they can't see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
See? And I got longitude latitude on there, right?
Right.
You see? See? So when you start talking about Canada, that's Washington land. That's part of 3 million acres. It's the British the one brought the line to, because of what? France and Spain negotiating on what? Saint Saïd Ayamaria, original what? Land. Go all the way back to when? 1713 on. Because of 1713, what they say? They became what? The protectors over what? The sovereign land rights of who?
Washita.
Imperial Washistaw Nation. Who else? And what? Sovereign rights and what? What they come protect us over? The land rights and your sovereignty, right?
Right.
So they've been operating Haiti, Caribbean, all of them got what? They got all these nations over you because of what? All that land belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't protect us over it. So now if you claim the land back, they got to go pay what? That's why you see them mad. That's why I say war is imminent when you at this level of you emerging. Because all of them got to face up to the truth. That's why they say they make a plan, you make a plan. But you had to come and do what you're doing. Why? Because of the mess they made over the last 430 years plus. You feel me?
Right.
Now you come back and got your right for seat back. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And you came back and got your immortified deities. They say this guy coming named Jesus gonna hang around, he gonna have what? 5 beings, right? 5 chariots, right? Coming out of heaven, then coming down, okay? He got to be able to punch into the system, right? He He got to be able to what? He got to punch it through the system. If he don't punch it through the system, he can't come back in.
Facts.
They won't accept him no way.
They ain't gonna accept no way. So he got to punch through the system. How Jesus or the Matthew gonna punch him through the system? Because they got satellites all over the fucking world. They're watching everything to see if that coming in, so they can stop it. See, but they had a plan, right?
Right.
And then who? They said what? And the Most High made a plan, right? So the Most High sent me, right?
Right.
Right under their nose. Sampson County. Same county Jarrell born in. Got my own name on it. Sampson, you feel me?
Right.
Grew up right up Munson. They didn't see me, did
Yep,
until they lit that damn fire in 2003. They had all kind of stuff happening with me during my years, driving trucks off the mountain, blinking my eyes at the bottom of the damn mountain, open, you know what I'm saying, moving the whole ocean, that's all recorded stuff. This ain't nothing fiction. They got to record it. Pentagon, they been watching me since I left military. They say what? We say what? You come along 1 in a trillion. That's why U.S. military is over, Air Force. So they've been watching me ever since. So they done seen me come through the military, raise up to form my own state. Look at the post office. Post office came out of employee. The employee, they said couldn't win. He got 8 EEOs, but they own everything. So the employee came and did what? Created his own damn state. Then came back after their asses as a sovereign. And say how you like them hours, right? And they couldn't win. Called them a bluff, right?
Yep.
And you see me walk in the court, do what? Won my case without no damn attorney. Because I stood on my square and circle in open court. What you had to do? You had to present the opposite from the State Department word in open court. Where you gonna find that at?
Right.
Where you gonna find that doctorate at? Ain't nobody gonna tell you that.
Nowhere. Nowhere.
See? So I came and did everything I was supposed to do. And they want nobody to give me, they want no blueprint. But the elders were guiding that pen and they were moving the ship. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't defeat me. Not the whole bar couldn't defeat me. The whole system couldn't defeat one man. Thought that daggone, I was still in the open court. I told you, son, that court was full. They were standing room only. By the time I walked from the podium to the judge to give her a copy, man, you see that door flying open. You had CIA, FBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, what is the other one? Inspector General. You had every ABC in that damn courtroom. And once I pulled that down, I was still out. Them niggas flew. I turned around, the door was catching them. And I said, what? Boy, we got something here. You feel me? Because that's the only time I seen them niggas move.
Right.
You feel me? So, and I've been rolling ever since. Took me completely out of the system. So you said, coming up for the last 10, 15 years, people say, well, why you don't do this and that? I'm out the system, fool. I mean, if I would have kept going like I'd be a multi-millionaire right now. You would never knew me. I probably had 10 trucks, running my own shit. Because I'm just that type of energy. But I had to step off to do what? Say this. Because this is only going to happen once in a lifetime. Because we don't show them how to do it. So they don't put every block in the world. That's why they put Condoleezza Rice up there after Colin Powell, not to dishonor that his general status and all that. But you ain't seen a Nubian up in that State Department ever since. You ain't gonna see one. See, so Trump came along, or T-Bone up in DC came along the first term, and he got the document, Declaration Decree that's online. He got that document that's supposed to went to Obama. So he been on my medal list since the first term. So it ain't like the second term, because he turned around and went and told everybody about what Obama and them was, like Biden said, we knew about him since Obama years, okay? But they can't go get mad at Obama because we got signed in Bush years. So the Republican Party was in power, we got signed in.
True.
The
Yeah.
Democrats just came in, and people say, "Oh, so you're the one why Obama got elected." I said, "Oh, you trying to figure that out, huh?" He wouldn't never got elected if it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, created a sovereign state. So they brought a constitutional scholar in there. You know, that was Hillary Clinton's spot. He came in and took her spot.
Oh, I didn't catch that either.
I mean, Hillary Clinton was that that was bringing a Caucasian woman up to the top. But they had a sacrifice to bring in who? Obama, because they supposed to be doing the world ID by 2010, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You see, they just started to get that together now, right?
Right.
Because they created a sovereign state. They had to figure out how to think tanks and everything, how it's going to work. So they had to see how you were going to develop, or me. And, because everything I send up there, they already know who I am. So they say I ain't scared of nothing. Because I got my own royal seat. And I'm going to my seat, whether they like it or not. They still got to come across my seat. They ain't talking all the shit they want. They still got to pass me, and I sit at the seat. I'm the fire. My grandma said, what? Your light's so bright. Whenever you decide to come back home. So, I'm on a journey now. You feel me?
Right.
I ain't decided to go back home yet. So they still sitting up all the names I called out. They still what? They at the gate waiting on me to return. So I look at the gift I gave them coming up from the bottom of this pit. Trillions of souls down there. You call out a couple of them, come up, sit. Prepare, wait for you. You feel me? When I return. So I got to grow into the rest of my being. But you see it, you see the systemization of the whole Imperial Royal Empire. Now you got an Imperial Royal Post with seals that's beyond flags. You feel me? Because they in the world, you see they all got flags up. Color flags. You ain't notice that. The red, white, blue, American flag, same thing as the crown. Where it come from? Kemet, right? Only thing they missed is what? The gold, right?
Right.
You see? So you come right in his act. So now you got the de jure and they de facto. So they running the show like they been running. That's fine with me. I ain't got no problem with it. Ain't got nothing to do with me. It's about y'all learning how to be nominational diplomats, ambassadors, so you can move the ship. You can talk to anybody. Give a damn who it is. Can't do nothing with you. What? See, so when you look down here in the longitude latitude, that's jurisdiction on your venue. You say California, Arizona. Why? You got properties out there. You don't hold damn thing. Like I said, I was gonna send a letter out to California when that shit going on out there, but I don't feel like dealing with it right now. I got other things to deal with y'all and get y'all going. You feel me?
Right. Right. Yeah, I thought they were just trying to escape it because they didn't have no postal zone up there.
Yeah. Well, I got I heard about this lady up in Canada. Somebody's posting in the chat, claiming to be some queen. I got a couple people send me emails on there. I sent them over there and asked to where's her venue. And when they went to talk to her, she ain't had no damn venue. She ain't outside of Canada's jurisdiction. So you got a lot of indigenous tribes up there, but they still got Canada's IDs. They can't get outside jurisdiction. You got the same thing in America. Got a lot of people claim they jurisdiction, they indigenous, but they got state IDs. You feel me? So only woman they step outside the venues, who? Nomination. So whether they claim it or whatever, bro, who put that in chat, they got to come before our court because you on sovereign land. Even if so-called BIA tribes, what they call them, Seminole, and what's them tribes out there?
Cherokee.
Apache, yeah. What's them other tribes out there? Cherokee.
Cherokee, yep.
Haudenosaunee up in Massachusetts. All them BIA tribes mean what? That's on your land. They got a tribe and got recognized under the United States for what? Profit. They don't own no damn land. They still in what? Federal jurisdiction. We not nowhere near federal jurisdiction. So they still got full faith and credit in the United States to go out and get a loan, open up a casino, all that kind of stuff. But that's what the United States granted them under BIA. But they not under they still under our jurisdiction. You feel me? So they're on our land. So you see, we got a lot of work to do. But
right.
you know, because we the only one that's outside that venue. We had people come down sweat lodges back in the day from Canada claiming they're indigenous. And I shut them down right on the spot. They got mad, of course. But it ain't about emotions and feelings. There's a lot of people want to bring to anything you're dealing with. They want to bring their emotions like that means something. But I'm just giving you facts. Okay. So we've been knocking them down the whole while when they come up. Assert that they got some type of jurisdiction that's not recognized no damn where. You got a lot of them running up to BIA. I mean, say, not BIA. What is it? Non-government organization, NGOs up in UN. Out there on the market right now, Moors and all that crap. You know, claiming to be chiefs and all that bullshit. The UN can't give you no recognition. They accept what you say, but they can't give you no jurisdiction. It's a charter. So you got that folk running up UN like, because they deal with some country in Africa, Gambia, or you know, some of the African countries up there, they go there and take pictures and all that kind of crap. So as if they got some kind of status. Them people can't give them no status. They broke as hell. That's why they give them. That's why they make them NGOs so they can help bring some commerce back to their country. They ain't got nothing to damn self.
Right.
Because they under jurisdiction of the United States through all these contracts they done signed. You feel me? So they giving all their minerals away. That's why you say the Africans standing up now saying they're gonna keep their minerals from these deep pocket corporations belong to Britain, France, Spain, America, and all that. About time. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't got nothing off. They broke. You got your own sovereignty in your own currency. You ain't got no debt. Listen, the equity on $100 million in gold, you couldn't spend it. I can get $1 million people on this shit right now. You still couldn't spend it. I mean, 100 years. You couldn't even get close to it. See? So if the United States had an equity on $100 million gold, you should have no taxes. You should have all schools should be free. All healthcare should be free. Why? Because you got equity. They make you pay because they need you to pay taxes for them to exist. And then you look at the way they treat you. You gave them existence, but look at the way they treat you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you agree to be a corporation and you agree to give them the equity of your contract. So through UCC 3-419, you gave them permission to sign by accommodation over your what? Your birthright signature. So you need a social security card, you want a birth certificate, all that, you get a job. You realize you sold up all that to get them so you can go out and get a job or social security number. You gave them all that. Now you want to go claim it back. You see, you want to make them, you know, it's called contract. So you got to have somewhere you got to go before you go cancel that contract out. Goes, I don't give a damn who you is. The Social Security Administration is not going to cancel out that contract. They might give you a couple of dollars and say thank you. We like them folk did back in Great Seal Moore days, and they so-called Social Security Summer Trust. That girl up there in South Carolina, North Carolina, Charlotte, called herself what she called herself, a queen or a prince, whatever she called herself, empress or some shit. You see, she shut the fuck down. Why? All that crap she's selling number fake. She ain't got no venue nowhere. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to attach itself to us. So they don't realize all that stuff got to come back. They say chickens got to come on the roof. See? So you don't know what kind of damage they done. I don't think you did step away from all of it, right?
Dropped it.
And they want to need to put out a persona non grata because she ain't got no venue. Them some of the cats that came in, got national line, trying to create their own little fake ID, you know, whatever they doing. All that stuff will come on the roofs. They can't come for your court. Now they running scared. You got a couple of them dying. You know, I give them that time to get their breath in. You know, give them a little time to get that breath in. But death showing up is looking all in their face.
Right.
So there ain't no but amount of time. So you see how we doing? We keep moving on.
You
So
keep
they
it-
still breathing as the court open? Well, they still breathing, you already know. And you know, I thought about something else, you know. Instead of we're gonna change the Constitution, instead of putting their ass to a fire squad, you know what I'm saying? Why don't we just tie them motherfuckers up to a pole and let them motherfuckers just sit out in the sun and starve to death and let the fucking birds eat their asses.
Ooh.
And then make them lock themselves. Make them tie the handcuffs around it, make them lock themselves to the fucking pole. You feel me?
Hey,
That'd
treason.
be for treason, right?
Right. Firing squad too easy. That's the easy way
Too
out.
damn easy. That make them motherfuckers suffer.
Right.
So the birds come peck their eyes out and shit. You feel me?
Right.
So that way they give everybody else a notice out there. Don't commit treason against the emperor. What the fuck who you is? I got immortal if I did, dog. That ain't no joke. I got 580 million. Well, I got the master, fire deity. The baddest to the baddest of the baddest, baddest to the baddest, baddest of the baddest, baddest. And then I got what? 579,999,999 Imperial Grand Assembly. That ain't going nowhere. I'm just growing to my seat. They waiting on me. Whatever I say and what I do and what I move. That's why I say I ain't paying that crap no mind. Whatever they doing, it make me no difference. It's just a matter of time, dog. They let them destroy themselves. I'm cool.
Right.
But I know one thing: Earth ain't gonna take so much more of this bullshit before she come in and wipe everybody out, except for us. So I know I gotta say I got a ship. You know, can't now shine a light down on. Y'all remember that story, right?
Yep.
See, I ain't grew into that yet. You feel me? I ain't all right. See, that's why I say I got right now. I'm getting y'all straight so y'all can move your ship. I got to get on my own journey and get y'all off my back, right?
Right.
Tell y'all get your own that bicycle. Get off mine, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna observe you for a year or so, 3 years. So you make sure you ain't you know, you gotta make sure that the little mistakes you making, because you got these countries out here where y'all don't, you know, you growing into commerce, contracts and all that. So you gotta be, you know, we got the diplomatic protocol with SOFLO to overstand everything, but you know, now, but the main thing before is what? Making sure you didn't give away too much money or currency in certain contracts because they know more than you. You feel me?
Right.
So that's why I held back on certain contracts, because you got a lot of scam artists out there. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And you got your own venue on your own sovereign bank. Well, you know, so the main thing is open up your sovereign bank. You got everybody. See, you don't realize, man, we started this thing back in 2011. So you go back and check the so-called Brits. Go back and check the dates. They was on our medal list. Russia, China, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we created the Imperial Bionuclear Finance Institution back in 9, and we let Russia know. They came out and said what? They were attempting then to get outside of what?
The dollar.
The central bank system.
Gotcha.
The central bank system. And they said what? We don't need the central bank system. We don't need a what? Clearinghouse. So you cleared that.
Mm-hmm.
I gave y'all a clearinghouse. Imperial Bionuclear Finance Institution is a clearinghouse. So you cleared that. That's all you need. You don't need all that they claiming. That's why you see the whole world shifting. We've been putting stuff behind the scenes since 9, 10, 11. And I see how they changing. You notice Xi over in China. Yamo Xi.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, they get a Xi as a president. Next thing you know, they say what? Oh, he's a lifetime president now. Same thing in Russia, right? Where do you think they got that stuff from?
Right. Okay.
They got a sovereign emperor. Because the United States signed in what? A sovereign emperor. They've been knowing behind the scene. So you'll see how diplomatic protocol work on an international level. They not gonna mention you until you mention yourself. You got some people say, "Where they say?" Because you got to tell them. You see where he says what? Imperial Row House Tunica, that Thunderfire, and Imperial Row House Samson are the same. What country is gonna come up against that type of authority? They'll go announce you before you want to get announced.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who they wait on? So you announcing yourself. That's why we see the proclamation out there on the market. You see this public declaration to the world on the market. Why? Oh, they got more stuff coming down the road. You know, we working. You got a sovereign claim and all that stuff that's got to get produced as we keep moving. But this is just where we at now. The movie out. So y'all go talk to the governors and everything else. Finally open up what? Diplomacy. Why it took us so long? We had to grow into it. It could have been easy if I made it that way, but no, you had to walk and learn. So you want what you got here. You feel me?
Right.
You got a lot of people want to ride a damn ship, want to cash out their Social Security card and transfer their account over to their state, thinking, oh, I can live a life I want to live. Okay, well, go create your own damn venue then. Right. You feel me? I tell you about Archbishop in the militia crew. 30,000 Caucasian folks ready to join our ship. Why? Because they found out what I say. You got to be something like a foreign national owned country to do what? To get outside that brick contract. So they want to come over here. I ain't got time for them. They ain't racist, but they ain't coming over here and move the ship. They come over just cash out their Social Security card. We ain't got time for that. Right. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And y'all know y'all been on the ship. When people get on and they're not fully knowledge, you see the struggle, don't you? They constantly going back. You got to be like, yo, you need to go listen to tapes and videos to get caught the fuck up, because we ain't got time to keep going back because, your mind's still there. You feel me? You don't. The sun is hot. I can't go back. That's it. That's why you see me shut the doors. That's why they oh, no. The door's closed. If you got talent and you got some kind of professionalism in whatever area to help run a state, we don't mind talking to you. Because we control our own door, but we ain't gonna open up the doors for a lot of welfare, ghetto Christians or Muslim, whatever they are, jump on our ship, and the only thing they hear is just to create confusion. You feel me? Right. And we ain't got time for it. Mm-mm. I ain't got time for it. So, and I know y'all ain't got time for it now. You like, listen, you need to get on the ship because what? Whenever say, let's go, we're gonna make sure the spark plugs is plugged in right so we don't get no put, choop, all that kind of shit. See what I'm saying? So right. You gotta know your role. Like right. I told y'all, when I came up through Yams of government, shit, I had about 5 hats. Did I complain? No. Why? Because it's our own damn state. Was it property back then? No. But you knew you had something that you had to live and grow into because it didn't come with no book. It's something you created. So you can go do research on a foreign national owned country. Why you couldn't do no research on it? Because ain't nobody there right there mind gonna give you more authority than them. You ain't gonna find it. So that's why they looked at us like we were crazy. Mm-hmm. But we knew what we had. We stuck with it, knew what we had now. Where they at? Dead and gone. Right. Burning in fucking hell for 26,000 years, right? They got a chance to see me. They didn't deserve it, right? So I gave them 26,000 years. That's something I can't call, but you know I told you I attempted to get it back. They're gonna hurt my heart, boy. Won't do that again. Cause I see 26,000 years later. Oh, you try to get that back? Yeah, because I certain cousins, I kind of felt a little for them, but the elders came and said nope. They let them go through that 26,000 years. See, so that's a whole cycle of the sun, not the earth. It's like now you go into a zone you ain't never been in. That's why they're seeing so much all this stuff happening, because you ain't never been into this zone. It's 26,000 years ago when all this you passed through this part of space. You feel me? Right. So you need to wake up and see what's happening. So these questions that y'all got with the proclamation, all that's to help those who want to get on the ship understand the ship, and to help y'all learn how to be more professional in your deliverance of your state. You gotta know your stuff, right?
Right. You have to. We have to.
You see? So we're gonna have to end up getting a part 2 to this, or part 3, because this is gonna be cut in half. So we gotta do a part 3 for the proclamation declaration. We just ain't got enough time to do it tonight.
No.
Been kicking 5 hours and 13 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So I know time fly, right?
It does.
So we gotta go in and cut off by the first 5 minutes because we had that little disruption when we first started. But that's all in growing. Like I say, we don't get mad. We just get better, right?
That's right.
So we get that straight. So this will be a cut 2. So you got a wealth of knowledge out there now. You know the State Department out there reading it. You know the Pentagon reading it. You know everybody reading it. So the main one's reading our stuff. So people gotta go, oh, we gotta get 1,000 likes. We gotta get 10,000 likes. That don't interest us.
We could care
We
less.
just know the main parties are doing what they need to do. They know they're watching everything we do. So as we get our own server, we ain't into all them likes. If you keeping up, cool. If not, it's your soul. I'm not here to argue about your damn soul. You can burn hell all back here. No, you come upon a time when there ain't no joke. This is real time stuff. You got ships coming in now. You got people showing 2 suns in the sky. If you go back looking, man, I seen 2 suns in the sky when I was around 16, 17 years old. Man, my mom had a big discussion. And now you see I'm living and you see the second sun coming in. Some call it Nibiru, some call it the twin star ray, absolute ray, the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, you get ready to find out. And it's a certain time. That's why I say, get your paperwork straight, because you ain't guaranteed tomorrow. You feel me?
Right.
So, I don't think there's nothing else we can do tonight on this call. You got any more questions, we can go over that, but we ain't gonna jump in the proclamation.
Right. We do have a question in the chat. Zahub, in learning to assert authority, is filing documents such as this key? If so, why is it important?
Y'all, you can answer that, B-New.
This is one of the ways you assert your authority to the world. You're letting them know who you are and what you have. We have the right to write our own policy. In this case, it's to the world.
Because you got policy declaration to the world, meaning what? You got your own policy. Yeah. So you got the charter of the UN, who have all kind of policies. Well, you got your own policy. Why? Because you outside the jurisdiction of the UN. You outside the jurisdiction of the United States. You outside the jurisdiction of the Vatican. You outside the jurisdiction of the UPU. So you had to declare a policy declaration. Why? To set the record straight, because your policy is different than anybody else on the market. So you have to assert who you is and file it, because you got your own venue. So whoever asks the question, they got to understand it, that you got your own venue. You can file whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
To assert who you is. You don't need a permission. You already got the permission. So they keep thinking you got to go back and get it again. It only come around once. So you got to let them know how your ship flowing. A little bit anyway. They can never know the full ship. I'll never let them know that. That light, they can't even accept the light. So it's too bright. You feel me? So you're gonna deal with them at this level, but you got to realize that when you talking about a determinate state, that's stuff that's hid behind the scene of your sovereignty. So you have to assert that authority back and give them permission or authority or a chance to come and do what? Prove that you don't have King Louis the 20th status. Then they got to prove what? For them to do that, what they got to do? They got to prove that they're damn sovereign, no?
Right.
And they can't do it.
You can't.
So that's why you put it out there, brother. Because there ain't no sovereignty on the land. So because you submit and you claim that you part of a sovereign state or a sovereign country and believe in some religious doctrine, that don't make you no damn sorry. It damn sure don't give you no immortality. It's just the government controlling your being because they can't allow you outside their jurisdiction. So they got to control your mind. Because if you can think outside the box, you won't be here no more. If you can think outside the box, you can shut the government down tomorrow.
Right.
And make it work for you, not for them. See, when you got so many people stuck in stupid that they believe, they got a belief system. Like I said, you look at the way that boy running the office in D.C. right now, well, he's more like a Christ figure to mega people that fall in that cult they created. Because Jesus can't fit in there. They can put up and say, oh, I believe in God. That's bullshit. They believe in God. Why they treat the people so bad then? If they believe in God. If they believe in punishment coming back to them. Look at the way they acting out there. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
See? So they in violation of their own constitution. So where their justice coming in at? See? So they must think this boy must be some Christ figure or the Antichrist or the false prophet, because everything coming out of his mouth is a lie. That's why they consider a false prophet, right?
Right.
Think about it for a second. And he fit all the shoes that they said coming. Gold hair, gold, all that's written. So now that's there right before you right now. What you gonna do? Barbecue mildew. So whether you like me or not, don't make me no different. How you gonna escape from them? They want to ask questions about what we're doing. They don't ask questions what they're doing with their contract. But they won't ask us questions. But they won't go ask them. They want to challenge the paperwork. It seems like they got some status because they want to be a secure party or a hold in due course. Don't make no damn sense. You feel me? Because the birthright contract is controlled by the Social Security Administration. So where they got jurisdiction over that contract? Now they go out and say, well, I'm a Moore. I got an L or a Bay or a Davis, have my dumbass name. You feel me? All right, where the venue at then? Because them noble titles. So how you gonna have a noble title in somebody else's venue? You got more that they going to take driver's license picture with fezes on. Like that's supposed to mean something. Crazy shit in the world. You ask us. So you're a corporation, but now you liable. Come on, man. And then you don't even get no CDL. That's the funny part. They get state driver's license. You feel me?
Right.
Then they go get their birth certificate authenticated. Where you gonna catch it out there? The first thing they ran over here to me. You know, sending me there. I said, what's this about? Authentication. That's all right. They go catch you there. What are you getting me for? Listen, it's a bond, okay? If you look at your birthright contract, you go get from the county. It's a bond. It's on bond paper. So why you need to go get a bond authenticated unless you're gonna use it? Because authentication means it's real. That's why I say, well, you gonna deposit it? You gonna deposit it or something? Well, you see that false teaching out there that these cats doing to say they got some kind of status. You know, right. You got these new cats out there now with the red and green flag, got a new flag out there saying they got assaulted and all that bullshit. You feel me? They got a constitution. Like, that shit don't mean that's I mean, you know, it's just crazy. Because I just said and told you, if you got a real constitution, you got to sit for a year so it can be approved, you know, recognized. So you got a living constitution. These cats come out and say they need a sultan, and a sultan can come and do this. Sultan can't do a damn thing without no venue. It's just a title. It don't mean nothing because they ain't got no venue. They can't even give it outside the United States. They can operate these little cities and got their own little crew that follow them like they got some kind of status. They got no damn status. Look at them fools coming out of Philly. Got a whole crew of them coming out of Philly. Listen to that crazy boy there. Call himself some sheikh. You know what I'm saying? But he don't like titles, but he a sheikh, right? But look at all the instructions. He gets thousands of them. 20, 10, 15,000 people following this crap. You feel me? He giving them all the instructions, how to do this, and this and that, this and that. You should hear that crap. And they ain't accomplished nothing. They ain't showed no government structure. They ain't got no bank. They ain't got nothing. Just talk. They want to go challenge the courts and the housing authority for they feel like they can live in the house for free and all that bullshit. They don't understand nothing about contract law.
And walking around with a suitcase, a mini suitcase full of papers so that they can fight who they are and show who they are. Why you don't just have an ID? Why you got a mini suitcase full of documents?
They ain't ready enough paperwork. 90% ain't ready no damn. That's why we doing what? We got questions, answers, and explanations why. Because these cats out here they ain't got no facts out there. They just talking. Like that guy up in Canada, you know what I'm saying? Got seminars every other week saying he's some chief. Of what? You can't even get out of Canada.
Oh, man.
But they don't ask them that question, can you come see us, chief? That bullshit. But you just in that, that's why I say, Drew Ali taught in that teaching, Drew Ali said what? Your own people say you back in slavery, right?
Yep.
So you got all them more science boys doing what? Selling right back into slavery. Because they need some religion. They need Allah. Whoever the fuck that is. You see? Well, they need Jesus. That guy. Whoever that is. But, they need God. Whoever that guy is. We got 3 of them in the Bible, capital G-O-D, capital G, small O-D. Then you got small G-O-D. So, they got, all
Right.
kind of games they play. So this God they believe in play games with you.
Right.
Don't give you no facts, but he gonna judge your ass at the end. But he don't give you no facts. You know what I'm saying? He gonna judge you though, send you straight to hell, but he don't give you no facts. How you gonna judge somebody who don't give him no damn facts?
Right. Well, they say not my God.
See? Well, that's that fake belief. Because they won't believe in something so bad outside of self. That's why I say know thyself. See, they won't believe somebody outside of self. You feel me?
Right.
So, you catch what you're being.
I got you.
So they looking for something outside of themselves. Like I said before, the only help you ever gonna get is in your hand, right?
That's right.
They go to the doctor for healing. You don't see them praying to Jesus. Yo, come take this arthritis away. Yo, come take this disease away. No, they run to a doctor. See? Then they come tell you, thank Jesus, praise Jesus, thank you, Jesus. All that. For what? They can never show up.
Right.
They ain't showed up 2,000 years, they still waiting. That's what I'm saying, man. You got to be the biggest fools in the world. Some fictitious God, they say believe in, and he ain't showed up. You got people saying they Shiite, or what they call them people over there, what they say, anti-Semitic. They ain't never can't prove they real Jews. So how can you be anti-Semitic if they can't prove who the fuck they is?
Right.
They living on stolen land, but they children of God. But they on stolen land. That's Palestinian land. In reality, it's my land, but through contract, certain Palestinians over there, But we gonna all that's gonna get straightened out.
We got work to do.
It's happening right before you. You're in 13. Go read Revelation 13. All that stuff happening right now. Or chapter 13. You feel me?
Right.
So now they got to cover all these countries here: France, Western Europe, Switzerland, Germany, Italy. All of them got coming for your court. Portugal, they got North America. All of them got coming for your court. Do what? Prove they got jurisdiction over your land. And last time you checked, you can date yours back when? 1513, right?
1513.
And you can trace Treaty of Washistaw all the way back when? 1713, right?
Right.
You trace the Amnesty all the way back to 1513, right?
Right.
You can check the Amarok all the way back when? To the seal of the emperor. That's why I was able to come raise his flag. Only emperor can come raise his predecessor's flag. King Morocco couldn't do it. I had to do it. That's why you inherit all the jurisdiction that red flag. You feel me? And it's proven that it's under your house. So you're not here debating no more. It's already proved, right?
That's right.
So what else we got?
Zahub said gratitude for the clarity. And anything in YouTube.
Questions in YouTube.
All right, and we do have a time check of 22:28.
Yeah, we've been rolling. Time be flying, right?
You hardly notice when
Well,
you're
I
in.
say we got to do part 2 for the proclamation. That's a whole lot of class for that. But I just don't feel like we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow. I got too much work to do. But we can schedule part 2 probably on New Moon.
Okay.
Do part 2. And then we be done for a while, right?
Right.
That way you got certain things out there straight. But we know the Pentagon listen. We know all them listen. So make sure they got certain documents right now in their possession. So we rolling. Anything anybody else got something to say? Come with it.
Slam like a
Hey, hold your
marshal.
peace. Come on.
Earlier when you was elaborating on the absence of as true sovereigns until your appearance, when you were speaking, it came to my mind just the weight and that a true sovereign has on their shoulders as far as the culture integrity and atmosphere of a nation, because it can either be productive or it could be destructive. And we're exiting an age where it was destructive, when they had, the whole Jesus thing. And now, we're entering an age where, it's just, it's productive, it's growth. It's a golden age.
You got your own
Yeah.
venue, Rosine. You can pay your own bills. You write
Right.
your own check. You feel me?
Right.
So they ain't nobody holding you back but yourself now.
That's right.
You look at it, you at 60 day, April 22nd, became effective May 22nd, June 22nd, right now. Shout out. So you got 60 days in. You see? And they can't stand. You feel me? They had a lawful legal administrative obligation to answer to this. You feel me? So you see they can't answer. Because they what? They ain't got no what? Juvenus Glandier, Juvenus Hereditarius, Juvenus Honorum, Juvenus Imperial, Juvenus Majestis. You feel me? They don't have them titles. If they had them, they'll use them, right?
Right.
So you just gotta move your ship. That's what they're waiting on. You to move your ship. And you let them know you moving your ship, right?
That's right.
Without fear or favor, right?
That's right. All right.
So what else you got for me?
That's all I have. I give.
Anybody else?
Got some of them old crazy questions y'all had on the side. Y'all ain't got nothing for me.
All right, let's see. Crazy question.
Give them 1 or 2 more. What you got?
All right, let's see. Let's see where I was at. Okay. What are the quote decreed equity contracts and how do they relate on the ongoing enforcement of sovereign rights?
Equity contract is the bond. You got an equity, meaning, like, for instance, the Constitution, any Constitution is considered an equity contract. So if you got a Constitution that ain't got no equity, that's a dead contract. That's what they call a dead Constitution. You got an equity contract based on 100 million gold, so you have a living Constitution. So it's backed by equity gold, solid gold. You feel me? What else that question you said?
And how do they relate to the ongoing enforcement of sovereign rights?
You got an equity contract, it's just enforcing it. There's nothing to enforce. You already got the rights. You're enforcing them what you're doing right now. You writing your own way, creating your own currency flow. If you need to register with SWIFT, well, you had authority to register. If you need to register with Brits, well, you got authority to register. But remember, you got a 4-leaf clover. See, they stuck in a 3-leaf clover system. You come with a 4-leaf clover. So it ain't like you want to really attach yourself to them. They want to attach themselves to you because you don't have no debt. So everything you write is credit. You're not a debtor no more. You're a creditor. So you're just writing off your equity. So that's why I say all these people claim they got a constitution, start all the organizations, they ain't got no equity in nothing. So you got a living constitution. So you got equity. Not just the silver you got in your bank because of nationality. We just say, for instance, in 1792, Coinage Act, okay, they say 21 pieces of silver is equivalent to 1 million in fiat currency.
At that time.
At that time. So can you imagine what it's worth now? So in contract, you see contractors, that's why they do a surety bond to the bank to get the money to build the houses. And once the house is built, then they trade back in what? The contract to sell the score. It's all bid bond, performance bond, payment bond. The whole system. Got you thinking, right?
It does. Because I thought that was only relative to improvement.
Oh no. That whole system revolves around that.
Mm.
The whole Burberry contract, all that revolves around the whole corporate status. That's why they rich. That's why they wrote the system that way. When you got the Moors trying to crack into the UCC, crack into the system, that system made for them, so they can operate the Burberry contract. That's why the judges tell you what they here to represent what the all cap name. Mm-hmm. You got Moors going into court trying to get them to recognize that they are Bay or A or L or Ali, and they put all that stuff on Facebook like that they deep. But the court can't recognize you. That's not their job. Their job is to the Burberry contract. You feel me?
Right.
So that's why they call it bringing controversy to the court, because you're supposed to have your own venue. You don't need them. You got your own venue. So when they come into court, if they got to talk to the judge, well, they ain't got no venue. Because if they had a venue, they would never got past Solicitor General. That's the Solicitor General's job. If you're a diplomat, to talk to your consular court or your consular office, represent your diplomat. Can't go into another jurisdiction. So once you go before the judge, they don't prove that you ain't got no jurisdiction outside of them, and you got to come before the judge. You started saying it now?
Mm-hmm. They know it as soon as you show up.
So you show up.
Yep.
But you like that boy up in Maryland who got himself that shit up there without, ain't got nothing to do with us. And he sent a copy of my picture to get out of that case up in Maryland. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So that case, that's why that's treason. So he on the most wanted list.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I ain't got time for it. I already know what they're trying to attempt to do.
Right.
They're trying to attach themselves to the government. And once he got through that status in court, couldn't touch me, he gonna run off like he can create his own venue. And I told him, go ahead, I'll see you in court. Ain't no problem. But they ain't got time to deal with you right now. Because they want to come out and tell, oh, my paperwork, I want my paperwork. Yeah, I'm a sovereign state. We own everything you sent. Call him back over here trying to, like I said before, send an affidavit in. Send me something that you requested something from the sovereign state. That way we can let the United States know that you don't cross jurisdiction. So your ass can go back through the get nationalized within the United States. So you got nationalized on up. We thought we're gonna send the names up to the State Department, Homeland Security, of all these cats that got nationalized, and they try to sabotage us. So now their name's going up to the State Department. Yeah, so that the State Department know, Homeland Security know that they done separated from them, and now they came over and committed treason with us. Now they trying to run back over there because they still got their ID. So now let the United States come in and handle their ass. You feel me? Right.
Right,
there, don't you?
You got to go get plugged back in.
Got to get plugged back in. You gonna try to use my shit? So I let them linger alone. Die you must. You know me. So I say, linger alone, brother. Die you must. But all that shit will come out and haunt you. Ain't no problem.
Right.
So what else you got for me? They help you out?
It does. All right, we got. All right, we have how does this declaration affirm the distinct national status of Yamasee, Muirish, and Muir-Moore citizens within the U.S. context?
Say that again.
How does this declaration affirm the distinct national status of Yamasee, Muirish, and Muir-Moore citizens within the U.S. context?
It has nothing to do with them because you outside their jurisdiction.
Right.
You're a foreign nation in your own country, so it has nothing to do with them. You don't need the authority or approval to do anything you do. That's why you're the best kept secret. But they can't come tell you what to do. What I tell you that attorney, that judge in DeKalb County said, what he say? You mean tell me we got, well, of course they said niggas, but or we say African American, black man, or whatever.
Right.
And we can't tell what to do? Huh? What damn governor would say something like that? See, it wasn't that we made him sign it. It was his constitutional duty through the authentication process to authenticate whatever. It's the problem is that they're supposed to read it. So they got this old stamp process. So now you see, since Terry L up in Charlotte, North Carolina, got shut down. Remember, she got authenticated to be a state within North Carolina way back in the early 2000s. She messed that up through the 1040 Act process, started dealing with their citizens again. So they came and shut it down. So ever since then, you know the states now got a 3-panel judge. So any paperwork coming through, they send it through this the 3-judge panel, because they don't want to make a mistake, do up, sign another damn state in. So that's it.
Emperor changed the game.
Change the whole damn game.
Dang, they gotta have 6 eyes on that joker.
Yeah. So what happened with her is that she started using the 1040 process, which is legal, and you can retract money back to the time you was born. Then the IRS changed to you 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they only going back, well, they say 10 years now before they shut her down.
Yeah, 10 years.
But as long as you were nationalized under her, you were good. It's when she started going to the churches and dealing with their citizens when they shut her down. But we talked to her back in the day. They was amazed that we got the State Department to authenticate our state. They was tripping on how we was able to do that. Of course, we told them, came in. When they say back in the day, thieves of night came in through the back door. Mm-hmm. But that was just stuff we told them because, they were nosy. And then we didn't fully, at the time during the meetings, the de facto boy down in Georgia, he knew why, but he didn't let us know that Colin Powell had signed a contract because I was up there. See, he kept that secret till we went to Philly, I told you. And the Cavs up in Philly. We had our first Congress up there, and they were treating this boy like he's a king. You feel me? So the brother come up and ask me, ask him, say, well, brother, you fight no Latif. He said, we don't better open the doors for you and everything. He said, well, why we got to open up for Khufu? And I said, we talking about me? And he said, yeah. I said, because I signed a damn contract. Oh, they more families on the contract? So that's when Saifuddin, we was at his house that night for a little gathering, and he came in saying, oh, so you Khufu? I said, yeah, what about it? He said, well, we was at the State Department. They said Khufu, Ranub Samson L, Thunderfire had a contract between the United States or him and the post office. He said, we knew it wasn't this. See, what this boy down in Georgia did, he went up to one of his comrades up in Philly and had him nationalized as a Khufu. They tried to convince them that was the Khufu who got the authentication for the Yamasee government, which was bullshit. So we was up there, and Saifuddin came and said what happened at the State Department, and he said, well, we told de facto Latif since February, this is December 2004. He knew about this since February 2004. He didn't mention that to me and the moon all them months until we went to Philly. And that's when they found out they had more families on the contract. Because he had everybody believing that he was on family on the contract.
Mhm.
No. The contract that I signed June 20th, 22 years ago, that contract authenticated the sovereign signature. When we got the State Department to authenticate 11 February 2004, they made the sovereign, they created a sovereign prince because I was already nationalized as a double chief. Then I'm nationalized as a deputy consul. Well, that's national, but my job was deputy consul at the time of the arrest with that false arrest crap. You feel me?
Mhm.
So you create a whole nother venue, totally outside that venue. That makes sense to you?
It does.
So they couldn't touch you because you create a state. So when they came out the state, like I said, the post office had to win. Remember I told you homegirl I was dating back then? I called her Nene back then, but I didn't give her name online. She said, what? They said they got to win a case against you. If they lose, you own the post office. Well, last time I checked, they lost that case, right?
That's right. They lost the
That's
post.
when we knew how they bought out all the judges and all that stuff. Because they, that's why I tell them folks out there on the market slinging all that paperwork going against judges. They don't realize if you sue one judge, you sue the whole damn bar. And if you're going out there for some remedy, what judge you going to get to sign the contract? You feel me?
Right.
They're not going to sign a contract against their boss. You lost your damn mind.
They're going to keep you in limbo.
No, they're going to throw your ass in jail and throw the key away.
Right.
That's what's happening to a lot of these folks now that's getting locked up behind this more paperwork out there. Them boys getting locked up in jail, they ain't getting no break.
Right. That's true.
Because who gonna come get them? They done expatriated. So where your country at? You feel me? So you locked in jail now, can't get out. Why?
You're an international bastard.
There you go. See, so anything else? I think I answered that. We good? What else y'all got?
Yes, we good on that one. All right. We did
I see your little text and they're talking about happy Juneteenth day to the 14th Amendment citizen. You need to leave them folk alone. What else we got?
all right, I got how are the 22 January 2024 notices of accession integrated into the broader policy and legal framework of this declaration? Answer. They are foundational affirmations of accession to sovereign status, filing normal notification to global systems, and linking the ECMYE-IRKR to international law and treaty jurisdiction. Explanation.
That's right. They had a lawful legal opportunity to do what? Respond.
Respond.
That include what? United States of America. For real.
They were notified.
That notice of accession where you attach yourself to the treaty. Now you came in with a policy declaration to pierce through. You feel me? So if this guy named Jesus comes, he got to pierce through, right?
Right.
Because other than that, they gonna let him in. How you gonna get in? They got all these people waiting on to get here. How you gonna get in?
They're not even gonna be able to recognize them.
That's another story. You feel me?
Right.
They done gave so many images of them. They like me, I'm walking around in Muslim every day. They don't know I'm bloodline. Because they got an image of somebody else hanging on this cross that couldn't get his ass down. You feel me? Nigga can walk on water, wake up dead, but he couldn't get down from a cross, right? Damn.
Water.
Amazing, right?
All right. You want another one?
Oh man, you know you're kicking.
All right. We got, what is the theological or spiritual basis for the sovereign authority claimed by the imperial and imperial royal houses? Answer. The basis is cosmic and divine, derived from the supreme spirit dash sun and the ancestral realm of Lahmu, Nibiru, and Apsu as protectors of the solar and terrestrial realms. In parentheses, triple darkness to light. Explanation. Authority is derived from the supreme spirit dash sun, Lahmu, Nibiru, and Apsu, connecting the ruler to cosmic law and the ancient celestial realm. This spiritual source is older than man-made institutions, granting the imperial sovereign divine mandate to protect, govern, and sanctify the Yamashi lands and people.
Right.
You know, I had a guy ask me that. Well, how you know it's him? Why is it him? I said, look, all I know is if you just read what he has and compare it to what you got, he was born at that specific point in space and time. That's all I know. So that means it's divine. It wasn't you. You wasn't born at that time. I wasn't born at that time. But he was born right then and there at that point. That's when he came through. He's supposed to do it. You're either gonna help or you're not. But just read it.
Everybody got that shot. I told you, told me everybody got that shot.
Right.
It's what is it? Every 7 years, right?
Every 7.
So your third one, that's magic, right? So that make you had to be around 21, right?
Right.
So on your 21st birthday, you had that shot. What do? Smoke weed, go to college, get drunk, go to the beach. See? You had that shot. And if you took it, you didn't get through. I shot and went through. So they mad at me because my arrow went through.
That's what it is. Meanwhile, he got 6 IDs in his pocket. He can't do nothing with.
I mean, as if I was telling you, them type of crooks you don't need. See?
Yeah.
See, they want to mess up everything. It's all about them. See, they want, that's all about them. They won't come and mess it up for everybody. That's why that crap out there they got now from the great seal Moors and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they ain't worth a damn. Because you got 1,000 niggas, 100. I know that boy Charlotte, he at least nationalized over 5,000 of them cats. And with that 10-year winter, he was nationalizing down there and up there in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And that paperwork ain't worth a damn. What makes it better? He's laminated.
Yeah. Put the extra shine on it.
No. If you laminate a document, it ain't worth a damn.
Oh, that's right. It's void.
It's void.
Void. That's right.
So you got over 4,000 plus nationals and the Great Seal Moors got laminated paperwork.
Damn.
If he want to do anything, he would have laminated then sealed the lamination so the seal can raise. He sealed the paperwork then laminated, which puts you cancel out the whole document. I bet you got a lot of them mad now, right?
They will be if they ain't here yet. Yep.
And then they say they attach themselves to the Moore Science Temple, which is a corporation. So how you say you're a sovereign if you attach yourself to the Moore Science Temple, which operates under a corporation? Now they'll argue with you talking about, no, we ain't no 501c3. We come in the religious act of 1928, and still ain't got no damn venue. You in the jurisdiction of Cook County, Illinois, who bring you in the jurisdiction of the governor of Illinois, who bring you in the jurisdiction of what? The United States of America.
Yep.
You got some of them boys in crazy house, you know that, though.
That I did not know.
Yeah, a couple of them boys a lot of them got sent to the crazy house. Because they going to mess with them federal judges. The federal judges ain't playing. They saying your ass get checked out. You see them boys again, they ain't right. They weren't right before they went in, but now they really ain't right. You feel me?
Damn.
Yeah, no go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And the latest stuff they doing out there is going back getting your birth name and come bringing charges against you on your birth name. And then, you know, you got an L or Bey on the back of your name, so you feel like they ain't talking to you and they know you got what on you. You got W on you, right?
That's right.
And we get that W, what that W on your all cap name. So who come get you now? Almost gonna get you now. Who? Your mama.
That's right.
But she the one signed that contract over to the state. What else you got for me?
All right.
You got about 6 more minutes. We'll shut it down at 10. That'd be 5 hours, so we split 2.5 hours.
You mean 10 cents?
Well, that'd be 11 y'all time.
All right. So here we go. I got. All right. How are international legal instruments like apostille verification numbers used to support claims of sovereignty? Answer, they are. Go ahead.
You want me to answer? You got to answer. Come on.
I got it right here. They authenticate the sovereign status and contracts of the empire across jurisdictions, validating the empire's rights through existing legal instruments within the United States and abroad.
Right. That's why I tell everybody what. When you talk to them cats out there, ask them what. Do they have apostolic authority? If they can't answer, you keep moving, right?
Keep moving.
Because you know they're gonna say, yeah, we got full measure credit. Yeah, we got okay, do you have apostolic authority? Because you know a lot of them are getting the apostolic number 2. Which they don't understand is that that's the jurisdiction of the state. And then they can't get outside the jurisdiction of the state. They definitely can't get outside the jurisdiction of the Secretary of State of the United States. Okay? Because that's apostolic number 2. Everything falls under that seal, which is the highest seal in the United States. Okay?
Right.
So they can't get outside that jurisdiction. So they're able to operate within the state jurisdiction. You got some Native American did all that, you know, to say they got a tribe within New York and they got 50 followers under New York, but they can't get outside that they still can't get outside that jurisdiction. See, so they got these chiefs that think they smart and they go get authenticated and say they're a chief, but they don't own nothing. See, you're a chief, you got to own land. See, all these chiefs out here, they don't own shit. They staying in rented houses. You know what I'm saying? They stand in paid houses. They got a bank loan. It's still under their jurisdiction. So how you a chief? If you say you a chief of a nation, that makes you got land. Where you land at? They ain't got no damn land. Then they do got some land. What they do? They go try to put it in a trust or, you know, all that quasi paperwork out there on the market. You feel me? Still can't get outside of what? The state. But they're a chief, right? Huh? You know, I had him come over here, chief this. Somebody had to get that girl up there in South Carolina Club and see some, had some contract, had guys getting chief ties, and they out there on the radio now talking about they some damn chief sitting in the damn house with all that crap. You like, man, shut up. You feel me? They ain't got no venue to do nothing. Then they come over here and they come over here and say, I'm a chief. And I'm thinking they know something, right? I'm ready to give them some serious positions. You feel me?
Right.
Man, they don't know how to put peanut butter on bread.
Yeah, damn. So they have the title.
Don't even think about adding jelly to that motherfucker.
And that'll mess them up.
You feel me?
Right.
You know, you're like, who gave you this? Oh, this lady down in South Carolina. How when they got some title to the land, they went over to Geneva and they got recognized. Nigga, shut up. For real. You know what I'm saying? If you got a state, that's the only thing the head recognizes countries, not no damn individuals. I had to tell them to them Yorkites, remember? Following all them, sending all 100 documents over to the head like Chief Black Eagle has some status. I'm like, they talk to countries. They don't talk to people assuming they got some kind of status, he couldn't get outside of the court system of the United States. Whether
Right.
you like it or not, that's a fact.
Right. That's right.
But he's a savior to a lot of Sabians, you know, but he couldn't save himself. I got to come save him, you know?
Right.
Oh, he already under my jurisdiction, but just for them cats keep thinking like he did all that. He created 4 or 5 organizations from 1967. Some say 70, but we're gonna take it for the real go. From 67 up to the time he got arrested. He created 4 strong organizations. He went overseas to get nationalized on the foreign state because he wanted to drop the Constitution. He had to find a way to drop that Constitution. United Nawawi Moors Constitution that was dropped in 92.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he put it in the government. What do you say? Now the Constitution got a home. See? So we came and did what? We put an equity on that damn Constitution. We came and did what? After equity, what we do? We gave it powers.
Right.
Now the emperor got sovereign powers as a constitutional monarch to do what? Delegate authority down to y'all to do what? Become who you is now, right?
Right. Operate a sovereign state.
See? And he's probably what? This sovereign state.
Right.
So eventually, as y'all move the state, what you got to do? The empress is what? Property of a sovereign state. Jurali is what? Property of a sovereign state now. You feel me?
Right.
So now they got to come talk to us. Trying to get me right.
That's right.
That's why I told him back in the day, everything that man wrote, Chief Black Eagle, that's on the state now. But they love him, right? But they out there selling wolf tickets, right? Reprinting his books, reprinting this, reprinting that. Just all about off of his knowledge and his wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't brought shit to the table, but attitude and some hood project thinking individuals. You feel me?
Right.
What else we got?
All right. Let's see. We have
That was a good one to end the call with, but we're gonna get one more. All right, come on.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I see you done ran the Prince's homes. You know what to sleep. Come on.
All right. How does this declaration interlink with the concept of autochthonous jurisdiction for non-nationals? How does this declaration interlink with the concept of, quote, autochthonous jurisdiction, end quote, for non-nationals? Answer. It affirms that jurisdiction arises from being born of the land and of the ancient nation. Non-nationals are not subject to imposed citizenship, but governed by ancestral inheritance and self-rule.
Right. Totally outside their brain thinking, see?
Right.
So I'm glad we had this call because they've been hearing us over the years. And they say, what are you going to bring? What do you got? Okay. Well, you see what we got, right?
That's right.
And I've been on point the whole while. You feel me? So we're going to end it with that one, right?
Right.
Everybody good with that? What else they got? Y'all got something? Y'all want to add to it?
No, I was just gonna say we had some of us, well, especially me being new, we had the privilege of watching and seeing things change out here as as we did things, as documents went out, we watched them adjust. First getting on the ship, I used to hear everyone else talk about it. I'm like, dang, okay, I hear their references, but I don't have any of those, so I'm just observing. Now, after being here, the amount of time that I've been here, I've got a chance to see these adjustments, and it's real. It's real, and I feel you. I don't.
More and real than real. It's just you gotta, breaking that damn, what you call that, spell of ignorance.
Right.
Or they call it the Vietnam spell. That shit ain't no joke.
It's real. Real.
That spell ain't no joke, brother. You feel it. You feel it every time when you open the door and let somebody come in and talk to us.
For real. Yes.
So y'all see that 22 again, don't you? 422, y'all see? You know that's a crypt that that attached to the Messiah name. You know that 22, right?
Hmm?
And that's in my bloodline. You feel me?
Right.
But if you want to sit there and wait for them to accept it, you might wait for the gates of hell to open up again, right? They still have a problem doing that, right?
That's right.
They said Jesus supposed to do that. Really? I hope he come and do it. So I done did it. I'd beat him through the punch. But that character don't exist no more. He never did exist. That was a figment of your imagination. So if you want to believe that, that's your own thing. If you want to believe somebody outside of your race died for you, you stupid as hell. But that run rapidly in America.
That's the go-to.
And run rapidly, brother. To hide the sins, to hide the evil, to hide the anger, the jealousy, the envious, the racism. That's all they do is hide it. Then you got African Americans accept that energy, so they got to kneel, so they know they become puppets or agents. You feel me? Ain't got a word to say. Like you hear Obama saying something now about the borders of DC. Well, hell, look at the shit he did when he was in that White House. You feel? So I can park called the kettle black, right?
Right.
And he did come in and say the United States crew should not speedboat because he had to do it because that's the job, and you send it to him directly. You feel me? And him being a constitutional student, he understood Constitution. So you hit that's why they put him in there. You feel me? Because I was already kicking ass before he even got there. You feel me?
Right.
Come on. What were you saying?
No, I thought you went mute, but I think it was my internet connection.
Yeah, that
No,
was
no.
your.
Okay. All right.
So we gave him enough for the night. They got enough? You think they're good?
That's good.
All right, cool. So we're gonna cut this in half, and we're gonna straighten out that little front part. So let's go and close it out, and then we'll schedule a part 2 for the proclamation declaration, and we might add that. Oh yeah, we can do that with my office. The official opening of the my office with all the titles and everything they waiting on. So we can add them two together. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right, cool. All right, anybody else? Speak now and hold your peace. As they say at the club, you might ain't gotta go home. You gotta get the hell out of here. All right, let's end this thing. Come on.
Gratitude, Emperor. I yield the floor back to the host.
All right. In closing, we would like to thank Universal Traveler, Space, Dweller Emperor, Space, His Imperial Majesty, in parentheses, all caps, H.E.M. Space, Samhu, a Ray, Colt, Adelo Yi, Space, and I/we would like to thank the Imperial Royal Princess, Space, Princess Huhaika Samson L, for her presence during this celebration, Space. Moreover, I extend much gratitude to all of our Imperial and Imperial Dynamic readers and non-national small n working behind the scenes. It is my pleasure, along with the Nama Earth Keepers, to thank you, our viewing audience, for your attendance, cooperation, and your active participation. With that, we say Salam Malikum Ma'at Shawut, and may the dwellers be with all of us divine beings, and may you continue to be a universal traveler, space, dweller emperor, space, Samhu, a mini Ray, quote, a Delo Yi, divine being. Yeesh. Smiley face.
Hey, back that up one. Who got the screen? Back that up one. Yeah, back that screen right there. Did we go over this?
We did not.
Okay. But it's showing you the summer equinox and all that stuff, right? Summer solstice, right? So we're right here. It's going around the sun. And you got 22nd December, 23rd September equinox, 21st March equinox. So he show you how you're going around the clock, counterclockwise, right? See? So and we had the longest day, shortest night tonight, right? So you know summer solstice ended at 9, I think 20, what is it? 21, 20, 42 tonight. So we ended the solstice on the call, which is great. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So Mojab, appreciate you, brother. I see you you got your act together, so we all right there, right? Look at him smiling. All right, good show, y'all. Appreciate y'all. So let's end this. 5. No, we'll go 8, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Salam alaikum ma'asharu.
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum, ma'ashawu.
Salam alaikum, ma'ashawu.